Let's talk about the heart, the function of the organ. The heart is one of the most important organs in the entire human body. You could even argue it's one of the two most important. I think it'd be hard pressed to say it's otherwise. It's really nothing more than a pump. It's composed of muscle, which pumps blood throughout the body. It beats approximately, depending on the person, 72 times per minute our entire life. The heart pumps blood, which carries all the vital materials which help our bodies function and removes the waste products that we don't need, right? So, muscles, what do they need? They need oxygen, glucose, amino acids, as well as proper ratio of sodium, calcium, potassium, salts in order for the muscle to contract normally. If the heart ever ceases to pump blood, the body begins to shut down. And after a very short period of time, the body's going to die. The heart is essentially a muscle. It's a little bit larger than your fist. And like any other muscle in the human body, it contracts and it expands. Unlike skeletal muscles, however, the heart works on an all or nothing law. All or nothing. I want you to think about that for a second. That is, each time that your heart contracts, it does so with all of its force or none of it, right? The heart beat has multiple stages, and each cycle of those stages lasts about 8/10 of a second. A lot of micro activity going on in that muscle. During this cycle, the entire heart actually rests for about 4/10 of a second. Now, in what I just explained, how is leadership and what we're doing in this pre launch right now any different? I propose to you that it is not different at all. Leaders pump nutrients into their organization and they remove waste. They supply materials to help the body and their organization flourish. They work tirelessly and constantly engaged in this good work of their organization, or their organization is going to suffer and in some cases die. Additionally, leaders are essentially all or nothing, like we talked about earlier with the heart. You're either supplying the nutrients or you're not in a lot of cases. They're either pumping and feeding their organization or they are not. When looked at from the position of the heart that we were just talking about, how is the heart different from your burgeoning organization at New Earth right now? Are you in this pre-launch focused on feeding the parts of your organization, and are they beating in time with your own? Also, maybe more importantly, more of the emotional aspect, does the organization that you're building have the heart to keep beating? Are you staying focused and constantly, persistently active? That's the question. That's what a heart does, and that's what a leader does. Constant, focused, attentive, and detailed. So I want to challenge all of you to take the moment that you need to in building this organization, building your organization. Think of it as though you are the heartbeat. Because as we move through this pre-launch period, you're going to come to a time when we hit September 1st and you're into really the money-making part of your organization. Now is the time to build it, and unlike the body, right? Now is the time to build it and reflect on whether or not it's going to be able to survive and adapt and make changes and add and grow and make sure those nutrients really are getting down into your organization. That's going to be harder come September. It's not over September. Of course not. That's ridiculous. Of course, you're still going to keep going, but it's so much easier now when the entry level is so low and it's free and you can make sure that it is pumping and functioning like you want it to. We are in a 30-day sprint, so it's going to feel like your heartbeat is just on fire, right? Well, it is and should be.